we get ready for Miss Emmy's first birthday that comes up on Thursday. Look at her tapping my arm. Oh, she's such a joy. I know. I have been thinking about her birth. Actually, I have been praying, Lord, help me remember the details. I can't remember them. And I feel like, in a way, I owe it to Emmi to remember that day and to remember the details that surround it. And it is a long story. And so I thought, why don't I break it up into like little mini segments? And then like the day of her birthday, I will try to condense it into a birthday post without writing a chapter book. But I don't know too, if you're like me and you start following somebody's story, maybe you hop in the middle and you're thinking, what am I missing? I want the details. I want to know what's going on. So that's going to also be a part of what this is for. Okay, so I've shared before that Emmi was a total surprise pregnancy. The Lord knew that the world and we needed Emmi. And so her pregnancy came as a surprise. We were planning a fourth and final home birth, which led me to go have an anatomy scan, just make sure everything was okay. During the scanning process, we discovered a really large fibroid that we continued monitoring, and it just growed right alongside Emmi. It was her little twin that my friend named Fanny. Fanny the fibroid, Julie. And we did not find out the gender of Emmi, but as we followed along, we realized that we were not going to be able to have a home birth because my fibroid was massive and it was low at my cervix, like right at the opening. And the fibroid is hard and fibrous. It's not mushy. It won't like give as you were birthing. And so we were fairly confident we were going to have a C-section. Through all the scans that we had done, like the original anatomy scan, we were told that there was no feet on the baby, or they couldn't find feet on the baby. That led us to a whole lot more imaging, and basically they came to the conclusion that they could not see Emmi well because of my huge fibroid. They thought that the baby, we didn't know it was a girl, might have a club foot. But that was really the only thing. We had an amniocentesis, we had an MRI, we had blood work, we had everything that you could possibly imagine. Every hoop they told me to jump through, I did because I wanted a home birth. But everything came back totally normal. So last year at this time, it was our last day of CC. It was a Tuesday, and I was praying that I could get through that day because I was tutoring Foundations and Essentials, 2 classes, but I could feel my body gearing up for birth. I was 38 weeks pregnant, and so we went and had our last day of CC, and that night when I went to bed at 1 a.m., my water broke. I was really scared to have a C-section, so I did not tell Brent, he was asleep next to me, that my water was broke. I got up and cooked ground beef that I had laying in the sink to thaw. I took a shower because I'm like, okay, we're going to the hospital. I'm going to wash my hair, dried my hair, folded clothes, did all the things, thinking, please, God, I don't want to have a C-section. I'm so scared. I was so terrified of a C-section. So finally at like 4:45, his alarm went off. And I was laying there next to him and I said, you're not going to work today? And he was like, why? And I said, we're going to have a baby. And at that time too, I thought, this is the last time I'm ever going to tell Brent these words. Like, today's the day we're having a baby. And he's like, have you called Dr. Warren? And I said, no. And he's like, why? I said, because I don't want to. So I finally called Dr. Warren and he said, let's go on to the hospital. And so we got ready and went to the hospital. So we got there, got prepped, did all the things, called my parents to come down, stay with the kids, obviously. So we go to the hospital. I think we got there like at 6:30 in the morning. And I had been cramping before then, but usually when my water breaks, it is showtime. And that was kind of why I was hanging around the house, because I thought maybe my body will go into labor, or not go into labor, but get to 10 centimeters fast, and I can like actually have a home birth. I don't have to go have this C-section. So I was waiting, but I could tell my body is not doing what it's supposed to do. And so when we got there, Dr. Warren checked me. I was 2 centimeters. He's like, this is what we anticipated. Your body is not going to do what it needs to do because the cervix is anterior. It's blocking the contractions. It's going to prevent your body from doing it. Yada, yada, yada. They got us ready, told us that we were going to be in the OR at 10. 10 was about the time that we were scheduled to go in there. I was petrified, shaking uncontrollably. Okay, I'm about to have to end this morning's series. We will jump back on tomorrow to finish. We got to get ready. It's the last day of CC. But as I was in there getting ready, oh, let me back up. Okay, so Tuesday at CC, I was letting all my friends know I've accepted. I have to have a C-section. I'm terrified. Please pray for me. One of my sweet friends at CC said, I'm praying right now you get a nurse named Lauren Brown, and I'm going to email her today and tell her to be looking for you. So on Wednesday morning, I get there, and one nurse comes in. She's like, your nurse, Lauren Brown's about to come in here. And I said, what did you say my nurse's name is? And she said, Lauren Brown. She just got an email about you. So yeah, and that was the start of the Lord loving on me during the most traumatic season of my entire life, especially being at the hospital where I was terrified. He handpicked every nurse and every doctor that took care of me. I have never felt so. So they get me back in the OR. They give me the dreaded epidural that I was terrified of. I was shaking uncontrollably, which they kept saying, oh, that's just part of the process of the anesthesia, I think. No, maybe not anesthesia. The epidural, I don't think I had anesthesia. And I'm like, no, this is because I'm so scared. I'm so scared. And they like put the curtain up, and Brent wasn't in there. And I kept saying, where's Brent? Where is Brent? And they're like, we're going to get him. I'm like, don't you dare cut me open before he gets in here. I mean, I was so scared. So they get him in there. They cut me open. They pull the baby out. They said, do you want to tell mommy what the baby is? And Brent said, a boy? And I was thinking, I knew it. I knew I was getting a fourth son. And they all chuckled and said, no, Daddy, you've never seen this before. And I thought, there's no way. And he said, a girl? And everybody in the OR erupted into cheers. They knew we had 3 boys at home. I was laying there thinking, a girl? There's no way. I don't know. I don't even know what to do with the girl. And I was thinking, I don't know how to do her hair. That's what I was laying there thinking, like, I don't know how to do hair, clearly. And at the time, I noticed it was nervous chatter going on. But I thought it was because I was so scared. And I thought they were trying to calm me down. Because, I mean, I was shaking uncontrollably. Like, every part of me was shaking. My teeth were chattering, and Brent wasn't saying much. He leaned down at one time and said, can you believe you have a girl? And I said, no, I can't. And looking back, I know that there was just a lot of nervous chatter going on. Brent could see Emmi immediately. He knew something was up. He didn't know how to tell me. Nobody in that room knew how to tell me. So yeah, I was laying there waiting to see my little girl, and that's where we will pick up tomorrow.